In a small coastal village, a fisherman spent his days battling a crashing ocean just to secure a single meal. Most nights, he and his wife went to bed with empty stomachs, entirely at the mercy of the sea. Then, on a day when the water was unusually still, his net pulled up something strange. It was a shimmering, golden fish that spoke, offering to grant him a wish in exchange for its life. Terrified but moved by cave, the fisherman made his choice. He dropped the golden fish back into the water, asking for nothing in return for his mercy. This moment establishes our baseline. Despite enduring intense material deprivation and near starvation, the fisherman's moral compass remained intact. He found it possible to perform a kind deed without extracting a price for it. When he returned home and told his wife, her reaction was explosive. She forced him to march back to the water and demand the most basic necessity to ensure their survival, a basket that would always stay full of fresh bread. The fish granted the wish, but the very moment their hunger was solved, a new lack appeared. Within days, a basket of bread was no longer enough. Now she demanded a sturdy wooden house to replace their rotting hut. The profound relief of escaping extreme poverty evaporated almost instantly. As soon as the threat of starvation was removed, the couple's minds recalibrated to focus on the next missing comfort. Escaping poverty did not bring them peace. It simply established a new standard, forcing their expectations to climb as soon as their survival was guaranteed. A beautiful house and a full stomach provided comfort, but the human mind rarely permits itself to rest there. Soon, the wife realized that a nice house didn't make her important. She wanted to be the village head, commanding respect and authority. This diagram maps out the thresholds of greed. Notice how the distance between the tiers shrinks as we move up. Once the wide base of survival is secured, the jump to comfort happens quickly, but the leap from comfort into status happens almost instantly. The desires are accelerating. As they push into the status tier, the actual volume of wealth they extract goes up, but the time they stay satisfied drops. Where there was once a woman grateful for a sturdy roof, there is now a royal figure laden with gold, issuing commands to a line of servants from a palace. The nature of their request has mutated. They are no longer asking for things that keep them alive or warm. They are feeding a toxic, insatiable hunger for ego. With every trip back to the shoreline, the fisherman's internal decay worsens. He knows these demands are wrong. He trembles with shame every time he walks to the water, yet lacks the willpower to stand up. The natural world actively mirrors this corruption. What started as a calm, glittering sea has devolved into a pitch-black, violently churning nightmare. The ocean itself is rejecting their greed. There is a bitter irony here. The fisherman now lives in a sprawling palace, surrounded by material wealth, yet he has never been more powerless, paralyzed by his wife's ambition. They escaped the victimization of poverty, only to become prisoners to their own unchecked desires. Then comes the final demand. Being a queen over the land is no longer enough. The wife orders her husband to tell the fish that she must be the master of the sea. She wants every wave at her command, and the magic fish itself to be her personal servant. This demand crosses a critical line. She is no longer asking for status within a system. She is attempting to own the system itself. The fisherman arrives at the shoreline completely broken. He whispers the final demand into a roaring hurricane, standing before a towering wall of black water rising under a lightning-filled sky. At this final stage, the desire for status matures into a belief that one can own the very forces of nature. By attempting to enslave the source of their luck, they ensure their own ruin. The fish offers no more magic. Its judgment is cold and immediate. Because their demands have proven to be a bottomless pit, the fish revokes the gift entirely. The fish vanishes into the deep water. The fisherman sprints back from the shore, only to find the palace gone, and his wife sitting in ragged clothes right outside their old, rotting wooden hut. The story leaves us with a stark realization. The relentless pursuit of more eventually strips away everything we hold dear. Lasting security comes only to those who find a way to be satisfied with enough.